although you see and hear the term everywhere. I don't love referring to kids as picky eaters because it can often be used as an excuse, and it gets internalized by our kids as a permanent state of being. But here's the thing, it isn't. Picky eating is a behavior, and like all behaviors and habits, good or bad, it can be changed. But knowing that picky eating can be changed doesn't necessarily make having a picky eater in your house any easier. So having tools you can turn to help you navigate this phase and supporting your kids through it, that can make the whole thing much more easy. Hi, I'm Kiyah Duffey, nutrition expert, entrepreneur, speaker, and mom of 3. I help busy, health-conscious parents transform their family's relationship with food. So there are lots of things that picky eating can be connected to. It could be connected to early issues around feeding or mealtime, stemming back to the early days of beginning to eat solid foods. It could be connected to waiting too long to introduce a variety of textures, especially lumpy foods. It could be connected to pressuring your child to eat before they were ready or to provide foods that they are not yet comfortable with. Or it could be due to your own behaviors, modeling parents' own fussiness or controlling food behaviors. So, understanding the roots of your child's choosiness is the first step, although it is only the first step, and it may take a while to get it fully figured out. And if I'm being really honest, you might never fully figure it out or fully understand what led to their picky or choosy eating. Regardless, using some of the next techniques that I am going to talk about can help you help your little one develop happy, healthy, lifelong relationships with food. That's my dog. Let's dive in and let's talk about the 10 strategies you can use to help your kids who are currently going through picky eating or to help them prevent becoming picky eaters. Number 1, name it. Give your kids the language they can use to describe foods they are tasting, including those that they love and will willingly eat, and those that they are still learning to like or know they do not like. Setting expectations about what they can expect in terms of textures, flavors, temperatures, all of this can help them draw connections between what they like and what they don't, between foods they have had before and are familiar with and those that are brand new to them, and it can help them build confidence. So why does this help? Specifically, imagine this situation. Someone handed you food that you were completely unfamiliar with and they said, "Here, taste this. It's really good for you." Would you taste it without any other information or any other context? My guess is you would be a little bit hesitant and you would want to ask some more questions. Helping your kids name the texture, flavor, and smells of foods that they eat means you help prime them for these new experiences they are about to have. Plus, instead of just saying, "I don't like this," they can be a little bit more clear with you about what they like or don't like about particular foods. It's too mushy. It's too spicy. I don't like how crunchy it is. All of this will help build their confidence, their language skills, and help you feel less stressed when they say, "I don't like it." Strategy number 2, start small. Most of the time, we make the mistake of preparing a whole meal with a new food, which inevitably leads to refusal from our picky eaters. That's broccoli. I don't like broccoli. It touched my pasta. I'm not going to eat any of it. So instead of pasta with broccoli and sausage all mixed together in what we might think is a delicious jumble, start by serving a small floret of broccoli alongside their favorite pasta. Why does this help? When you start with small portions, you take away the pressure your kids feel to eat a whole lot, a huge pile of an unfamiliar food. Instead, you've just given them permission to explore a little bit of that new food with all of their senses. And the next time you put broccoli in front of them, they will be less likely to immediately reject it. Tool technique number 3, give those new foods a special space. Whether you use a separate no thank you plate or you used a tasting plate or a dish that's set off to the side, or a dish like our Kizingo dishes that are specifically designed with a space for those new foods to go. When your kids are learning to like something new, put it in a special place. What this does, it takes away that scary power the new food has. Why does this help? Signaling to your kids which foods are there for them to practice tasting can help them feel safer tasting that something new. And for kids who don't like those unfamiliar foods to get anywhere near their favorite dishes, these separate no thank you plates or the spot in our nudge plates, those will help prevent your kids rejecting the entire meal. All right, tool number 4, set a good example. I don't like mushrooms. I will eat them. I will even prepare them sometimes, but I don't like them. And as a result, I haven't practiced exposing my kids to mushrooms. And as a result, they are likely to tell you they don't like mushrooms either. So why does setting a good example help? Extensive research shows that the most effective way you can encourage your kids to have healthier eating habits is to let them see you have those same healthier eating habits that you want them to have. So if you want your kids to practice tasting a new food, simply do it together. Serving foods you don't like and then being willing to taste them and then talk about your reaction to them will go a long way towards encouraging your kids to have the same behavior. Tool technique number 5, involve your kids in dinner prep. Finding ways to bring your kids into the kitchen when the pressure is low can often do wonders for their interest and willingness to try a new food. But as always, of course, this requires incredible patience from you. Even older kids can be reluctant tasters, and so this, like everything else in parenting, is going to require patience and persistence. Why does it help? Kids who spend time around food, buying it, cleaning it, preparing it, growing it, are actually willing to taste a new food or accidentally taste it while preparing it. Research shows us that kids who spend time in the kitchen are also more likely to eat a wide variety of foods and to have healthier eating habits as they grow up. Technique number 6, practice the division of responsibility. First coined by Ellen Satter, the division of responsibility states that grown-ups are in charge of deciding what food is offered and where and when it's offered, and children are in charge of deciding how much of the offered foods they want to eat. Why does this help? First, continuing to offer foods that your picky eater has already declined, maybe again and again and again, provides multiple food exposures. Kids don't have to eat a food in order to benefit from it. Over time, your child's familiarity with the food will grow, and with this comfort comes an increased willingness to touch, smell, bite, lick, maybe even taste or eat the food. Secondly, you establish and you demonstrate trust in your child and their ability to listen to their internal signals of hunger and fullness, and you empower them to continue to listen to those cues. Kids who can listen to those internal cues of hunger and fullness are less likely to overeat as they get older. Technique number 7, pay attention to texture and color. So rather than just focusing on the specific foods that your kids aren't eating, focus on the texture, the broad flavor profile, salty, sweet, etc., and the colors of the foods that your child doesn't like. Doing so can help you identify patterns and align patterns with what they like and don't like, and then align those qualities with the ones that they aren't so interested in eating right now to help nudge them towards being more comfortable with those foods. Why does this help? Many children prefer raw veggies to cooked ones. So try introducing a small raw broccoli floret instead of a steamed one, or frozen peas instead of cooked. These small changes can help build your child's confidence in tasting that specific food and can lead to a happier, more enthusiastic eater that is more likely to try different things or those foods cooked in different ways eventually down the road. Okay, technique number 8. And this one I might argue is one of the most important. Make only one meal. making a separate meal for your child after he or she rejects the one you just made might actually be promoting their picky eating. This doesn't mean that you have to offer foods that are filled with items or meals that are filled with items that are currently on their absolutely no way, I will not eat that list. But it is okay for you to tell your child that there isn't another meal coming and that this is what they have to choose from. Why does this help? In addition to giving them confidence that they won't go hungry, which incidentally helps them build trust in you, making just one meal will make it more likely that your child will eventually try something new. And it is a good idea to encourage your child to stay at the table for the designated mealtime, even if they're foods that they're not really interested in eating at the time. This signals to her that she is still a part of the family and you want her there, even if she's not eating. Technique number 9, create and stick to a routine. Serve meals and snacks at about the same time, to the extent that you're able, each day. Creating a schedule like this, especially when kids are little, that includes a set time for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, provides a level of consistency that allows kids to feel more confident, to know that food is coming and they can expect it and they don't have to worry about when it's coming again. So why does this help, specifically with picky eating? Sticking to a routine helps picky eaters in several ways. First, it creates a sense of security and predictability, which can reduce resistance to eating. Children thrive on routines, and knowing that mealtime is a regular and predictable part of their day can make them more open to trying new foods. They know that snack is coming next, and if they don't eat everything, they can count on snack time coming, as predicted. Additionally, a consistent routine helps regulate hunger and fullness cues. Why? Well, because when meals and snacks are served at regular intervals, children can focus on learning to recognize their body's signals for hunger and satisfaction rather than focusing on the unexpected or uncertainty of when food will come again. So all of this not only supports healthy eating habits, but it also reduces the likelihood of overeating or undereating. Regular meal and snack times also provide multiple opportunities for children to be exposed to new foods in a low-pressure environment, thus increasing their chances of eventually accepting and enjoying those new foods. Okay. Tool technique number 10. This one also extremely important. And here it is. Be patient. Boring? Maybe, but also so very true. Patience is probably the most critical because, like all things in parenting, this is a marathon and not a sprint. If you want to encourage a lifelong positive relationship with food, it takes years. So why does patience help? Young children often touch or smell new foods first. They might even put tiny bits in their mouth and then take them back out again before they take it any further. Your child might need a repeated exposure to a new food, as many as 15 times or more the older they get, before they are willing to take their first bite, let alone actually eat it willingly, not to mention thanking you for making it for them. So you can encourage your child by talking about a food's color, shape, aroma, texture, whether or not it tastes good or is good for them. Make sure you serve something that they will eat and something that they might not, to continue to offer opportunities and exposure to those new foods. Doing this consistently and being patient with the outcome, whatever it is, will help your child grow up with healthy food habits. I have compiled all of these techniques into a free PDF available to you on my website. It's linked in the show notes, in the description, in my bio, depending on the platform you are viewing this video. Thanks for watching.